Shalum. This is Seed to Harvest. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah. And Seed to Harvest is a series of messages to be short, to be brief, and to the point. It correlates with the life cycle of a child from pregnancy while being in the mother's womb to birth and beyond. And what I want to present to you who are drawn by the Almighty Father Yahuah to his word Yahusha, I want to present to you that there are things that we can learn that the mother goes through, that the infant inside the mother goes through, that correlates with what will happen during these end times. End times will bring mass movement. End times will prove that there will be occasions we will be in limited space, limited borders. Even if it comes to piling up in cars and moving from one location to the next, or crowding a plane, a train, or a bus, or a ship. There will be times when congestion will come during end times. And it will, if we were to learn and understand the dynamics of a woman giving birth to the challenges that she faces, the challenges that the infant faces stretching inside, then we can take that knowledge and apply it as end times ramp up, to not complain and grumble and dispute, but to understand that stretching inside means development still occur. We must adapt and adjust and know that it's only for a moment. Do you know, just by talking to the mother who carries the child, or children, if there are twins or triplets or more, do you know it speaks volume to be sensitive to the challenges that she's dealing with? For as the infant stretches inside, it stretches her body. Sometimes she don't feel beautiful. Sometimes she recognizes we take her for granted. The fathers, the men, take it for granted. Her body is changing as a result of stretching inside. My brothers and sisters, when we begin to recognize how the Almighty Father has set forth patterns and things in motion that make us wise, if we don't take it for granted, if we pay attention. Mothers experience changes as a baby begins stretching inside. We grow to understand that end times will bring similar experience in the shaping of a set-apart nation, learning how to adapt and adjust, which within whatever boundaries we are placed in these end times. Consider these words, O Yahusha, for the scriptures gives us many examples of things that can strengthen us to endure through these challenging times that are unfolding. Matthew 24, many of you may be familiar with it, for it speaks on end times. Notice that it says here, Matthew 24, 4-8. And Yahusha answered and said to him, take heed that no one leads you astray. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and they shall lead many astray. And you shall begin to hear of fightings and reports of fightings. See that you do not be troubled, for these have to take place, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation and reign against reign, and there shall be scarcities of food, and deadly diseases and earthquakes in places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. He gives us an example how these are the beginning of birth pains. Yahusha, O Yahusha, times of distress are ramping up. Some will be led astray, trying to stretch out and stretch away. And some will stretch within the boundaries of safety. As Yahusha is led together in groups, we will come closer together. See these connections, my brothers and sisters. I invite you to have discussions with mothers regarding their physical challenges, as well as the state of mind they are experiencing as the baby begins stretching inside. those who find favor and have this experience. The baby is transforming and the mother's experiencing change as well. When we start taking the need to care and support our mothers, we will discover how the same attention will be needed as end times ramp up. From the literal to the spiritual, there's much to learn about stretching inside. I believe through healthy, set-apart conversations, we can learn a lot that can and will aid in how we govern ourselves during these last days. Stretching inside can teach us a lot, my brothers and sisters, for there are boundaries which only will last for a period of time, but afterwards there will be actions that lead to breaking out and breaking away. This will prove to hold true as Yahusha is gathered in the final days ahead. Let us stop taking for granted how we can grow in wisdom by being more aware of what one another goes through in life and how it applies to binding together in love and unity. Yahusha, my brother, my sister, this may seem simple, but have that discussion. Sit down and give the mother your undivided attention. Ask her questions of how she feels. Let her know how you feel and how you're adapting. Recognize the favor and the beauty in the development of a child or children inside. Seed to harvest. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to learn. When we begin to hunger and thirst after righteousness, we will discover much wisdom is brought forth by paying close attention to life. Enough said. Stretching inside. Marinate on that for a while. Meditate. Have a conversation with a mother. Ask her how she feels. Ask her what can you do to help her ease her challenges, to support the changes that are happening inside and out. And yes, I know the father's going through some changes. Amazement, some anxiety as a baby or babies are on the way. But learn, O Yahusha, learn for the way the Almighty Father has set life in motion and how it can apply to us even after childbirth. There's so much to look at. For in the gathering of Yahusha, there will be intermittent gatherings, and we will be in limited borders, wanting to stretch our legs, wanting to see the world. But end times will prove that we must learn how to adapt and adjust to the environment we will be placed in. Make no mistake, Yahusha, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot to do in preparing our minds, our bodies for the challenges ahead. That's it. That's all I have for this segment. Stretching inside. I say to you, my brothers and sisters, pray on this message and see the relevance of how it can contribute strength during these end times. You've been listening to Seed to Harvest. My name is Symmanayah, and I end by saying, Shalom to you. Shalom, my brother, my sister,